Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Arizona who's been working on this issue nonstop, Congressman Biggs, is recognized.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for bringing this hearing here. And thank you to our witnesses who've given us amazing testimony. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for the audience for being here, the police presence, and Mayor Murphy, thank you, and the town of Sarita. And then I see at the back of the room my old friend from the State Senate, Frank Antonori, and I would just advise the police, you might want to haul that guy out right now. Just saying. So earlier this week, we had a briefing, some of us did, with Chief Maudlin, who is the sector chief for this sector, the Tucson sector. And I want to give you some startling figures. So from 2018 to 2020, the encounters averaged 60,000 a year in this sector, in Tucson sector. They've been higher in 19 for sure. In 2021, that number was 190,000. 190,000 encounters in 2021. In 2022, it was 250,000 encounters. In 2023, it was 373 encounters. And year to date, it exceeds 350,000, and they anticipate that they will exceed 700,000 encounters in the Tucson sector by the end of the fiscal year, which is September 30th. And I'm not counting or including gotaways, both known and unknown. And I'm not figuring into the fact that CBP has now changed how you count known and unknown gotaways, which actually will impact how you count them. So I want to reiterate, Chief, you told us at the time, and you've now testified twice, but I got to get this. Yuma sector, you were the chief, 2020. What was the total annual count?
It was just over 8,800 arrests in 2020.
Right.
Then it went up to 114,000 to end the fiscal year 21.
And when we look at it, they're averaging somewhere north of 350 a day in Yuma still. That's what I've been told. That's the report. What does that do to a community? So let's just take Yuma for 1 second to go from 8,800 encounters. We know, and I've been there, I saw it when it was just overcrowded and booming. What happens to a community like Yuma, who has one hospital, and you have all those people coming in, and you're having to release them because you have no place to put them, and neither does any place else on the southwest border?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think it's very important for people to realize that even if one geographic location is getting hit very hard like Yuma did, others are suffering as well. We take care of each other along the way. In a place like Yuma, majority of the year, there's only about 100,000 residents. There's a lot of winter visitors that come down there and add to the community. But when you arrest over 100,000 people, that matches and exceeds the community, it becomes a problem. There's only one food bank. There was only one large non-government organization that was capable of handling that. And there's only one hospital. And so it took an entire community to rally around the Border Patrol. And thank goodness they did, because we were already overwhelmed, sitting on average of 5,000 to 6,000 people a day that we would have to release. The NGO would take them and help us so we weren't releasing them to the street, because there's no bus station. There's one airport that people can fly to Phoenix out of, but it was very difficult. So thank goodness the NGO stepped up, but so did the entire community. The hospital, my understanding is there's still $20 to $30 million in unpaid bills from migrants that were showing up directly because we could not get out there and respond quick enough.
There were times that the ER was filled with illegal aliens. The maternity ward was filled with illegal aliens. So really impacted the community. You had farmers that had to plow under fields because they'd been contaminated. Now, Mr. Chilton, at the edge of your ranch, where the fencing ends, not too far away, just a couple miles, is a I don't know how to describe it, an encampment that's being run. It's highly, I've been there, it's unsanitary. It's unsanitary. they're rolling people through there. How many people have come around that edge of your ranch and filtered through there?
According to one Border Patrol officer, 5,640 people have come around the end of the wall on our ranch and through California Gulch, which is a huge gap. And they walk to the west to this migrant camp that you spoke of. 5,640 people in April alone.
Yeah, and they're moving people out, just so you understand, there might be 100, 150 there, and then Border Patrol will get to them, and they'll take them out, and then it's immediately filled back up, that encampment.
You're correct.
So
I've talked to Border Patrol officers, and they've said, we used to be a security force, and now we're just glorified taxi drivers.
So thanks for that, Mr. Chilton. And then Mr. Karchner, the high-speed chases and the Sabre force. I mean, we could talk about what Sheriff Daniels has done in Cochise County and how he's really tried to secure that county quite a bit. Tell us a little bit about the impact of the high-speed chases through the town of Sierra Vista. And then while you're thinking about that, I'll just tell you that I was down there once, and the high-speed chase had just ended in a fatal accident. So please tell us.
As I stated in my statement, over a dozen deaths have occurred directly tied to these immigration or high-speed chases coming through. The sheriff has done a fabulous job of utilizing what resources we have to try and address it. We've brought in law enforcement partners from different parts of the state to help out with that. But they continue to happen as long as the cartel is going to continue to recruit these people. And like I said, anywhere from age 13 is the youngest that we've had. Took mom's car from Phoenix and drove down to Cochise County to pick up however many unknowns to
kids who don't know how to drive.
Correct.
And they're told to not stop.
And
just go fast and keep going.
One particular 17-year-old driver told us that yeah, he was just playing a real life game of Grand Theft Auto. He was playing a video game with people's lives.
Well, and our heart goes, thank you, Mrs. Alexander, for your testimony. And I'll just tell you that when you start talking about recruitment, you're recruiting at high schools. They're recruiting on Snapchat, Instagram, and they're giving you specific loadout places. Go to mile marker X on maybe it's the I-8 corridor or wherever else it may be, and there's where you're going to meet somebody, and you're going to transport them, and you're going to make $1,000 per head or something like that. And to a young person, it's going to be incredibly enticing to get involved in that. So my time is way expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for all being here today.